Hi, it's Christine from Hokamus here, and we are in March, which is National Quilting Month. And I'm going to take a few moments here to go over something that we call pre-cuts in the quilting world. And pre-cuts are just that, pre-cut fabric. And they come in very typical arrangements, so to speak, or in packages. And I'm just going to kind of randomly go through them here for you and hopefully demystify some of the terminology you might hear your quilting friends talking about that doesn't quite make sense to you. Okay, so here we go. All right, the first one that I've got here is a mini charm pack. These are by Kona, and these are just 2.5 by 2.5 inch squares that somebody else has already cut. Yay, I don't have to. This is why we love them. There are 48 pieces in this package, so you can do a lot with this. Now, one of my favorite things to do with them is to use them in conjunction with a jelly roll. This is a jelly roll. This isn't a jelly roll that you're going to eat, but it's called a jelly roll because it looks a lot like a cinnamon roll might when you look at the inside of it here. These again are 2.5 inch strips. And these typically come in about a 42 pack, give or take, depending on the manufacturer. They're a full color set, or in a lot of cases, they are a sampling of an entire line of fabric, which is kind of fun. So instead of getting a great big amount, or a half a yard or a yard of each fabric in a line, you get a 2-inch strip or two of each fabric in the line, which means it's already coordinated for you. You can look up things on YouTube, and we'll be doing our own version here before too long, but you can look up things like the Jelly Roll Race Quilt. There's a lot of patterns out there for these, and we're going to be showcasing some in the future as well. But a lot of fun, and half the work's already done for you because these 2.5 inch strips are already cut, and it's already in a collection that makes sense. So you don't have to spend all that time trying to match up fabrics and finding just the right blue. It's already here. Now, there is another form you may see this come in, and this is a strip set because jelly roll is it's a copyrighted term. Okay, this is another way that you might see the strip set, and this is just a package of strips, but it's the same concept. In this is got 40 strips in it. Okay, so that's another way you might see it. Then I'm going to go back to that charm pack idea. The one that I showed you first was a mini charm pack. Well, this is a traditional charm pack. And again, this is a collection. I don't know if you can see in there all the different ones that we've got going on. This is a coffee themed collection. And in this one, there are 42 pieces. 1 or 2 of those, and you've got a lovely throw-size quilt that you can put together fairly quickly because, again, the cutting is already done. So whether you're doing whole squares or whether you want to put them together, maybe do half-square triangles, this is a great way to go. Also a fun way to sample a collection because that's typically what those are. Then I have these. These are called layer cakes. And in this particular case, this one has 42 pieces, and these are a 10 by 10 square, where my charm pack was a 5 by 5. So if you think about it, this is technically 4 of these, if you were to cut them in half. And you certainly could if you wanted to. These make up really nicely. Now, some of the things I like to use these for are our hexie pot holders that we do in our Learn to Sew classes. Again, it's a very quick quilt. Lots of great uses for basically a beautiful fabric that is a 10 by 10. And again, because it's already cut for me, a lot of the work is done, so I can get to sewing sooner, which I very much appreciate. That is kind of the basics of our pre-cuts. Now, there is one other pre-cut you may find here, and you'll find them other places, of course, as well, and that's called a fat quarter. Now, a fat quarter is just a little bit different than a regular quarter yard of fabric. While it is still a quarter yard, it's how we cut it. Now, a quarter yard's normally cut straight off the bolt as it comes off the bolt. Well, this is when we take a full yard of fabric and open it up and quarter it. Okay, so we get a bigger piece of fabric a little bigger than a placemat. It's a 22 by 18, I believe, roughly, is what most fat quarters are going to be. Same square footage, so to speak, or square inches as if I had cut a 1/4 yard off the bolt, but in a way where I have a wider piece to play with. And you'll find a lot of patterns out there that are what they call fat quarter friendly or whatnot. So wanted to tell you what those basics are, because I know a lot of times as a new quilter or a new sewer, you hear these terms, and because you don't immediately understand them, it can be really kind of confusing. But once you know what they are, they're very simple. And if you want to come in and talk to me more about it, I'd love to have a chat, show you what we've got, and show you how you can use those. So definitely be watching for our classes as well. Now, if you liked what you saw, think about subscribing to our Hokamus channel. We're always adding new things, and I'd love to see you there. And we'd sure appreciate a share. We got to let the algorithm know that, you know, we're here and that we're providing something that you're interested in. Again, looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care.